Hello everybody. In today's video, I get back on the Super Boss, finally. We're going to start figuring out all these decals and we're going to get things masked up and finished painted, hopefully by the end of this video. So if you want to see that and more, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSC family and welcome back to my bench. So today, I'm finally getting back on this Super Boss. I finally just said, you know what, enough is enough. I know this paint job has really been frustrating me and I've been having a lot of problems. And if you haven't seen any of the videos and the problems I've been having with this, right here up in the link, I'll leave a link for you. Go check out the other videos and it'll bring you up to speed on all the problems I've been having with this, why I've been so frustrated, and why I've been procrastinating so long to get this truck painted and finished. So let me show you where I'm at right now. But yes, this is the decal sheet for it. Just a quick rundown on it. There's no dark blue, so all the dark blue has to be painted. There is baby blue. All the baby blue decals for this truck are here, and only half of the red is here. You got to paint the other half. Okay, so right off the bat here, you see these go on the side of the hood, right, and actually part of the door. But there's a little hump right here, and that's for the front fenders. Okay, now because you've got to paint this red, you've got to try and match this color, right? Or it's going to look really funny. Or you could choose to mask and paint the entire red all over this truck. I'm doing only half of it, and trust me, the masking for that is a pain in the ass. So let me show you where I'm at. So I've got all the blue done, and in the last video I had showed you that, I marked out where the red goes. There's pencil lines right there. Oh, focus in. There we go. See, there's pencil lines. I've been marking that out. So that's where the red goes. So in the middle here stays white, the blue stays blue, and then here is red all along, comes up, back around, up on top a little bit, all right? And then there's red decals up here. No big deal. You got a scallop here, and it comes around, curves up and around and back over here. And then, of course, there's some on top and everything else. But I've been doing some masking, and yeah, so this is what we're looking at for masking, just on this back fender. All right, I got to finish masking it up. I'm not done yet, but I still got to do this side. So this here, it's taking quite a while. Very frustrating. Now, remember this little curve? That goes on the side of the hood. Now there's that one, and then there's one that doesn't have the countries in it. All right, just depending on which one you want to do. Here's the red. Okay, now that piece has to touch this red. And that's why it's so important that you have to match this red with this red. Otherwise, where they meet like that, if they're off too much, you're going to really notice it, right? Now I got to do some red touch-ups and stuff and white touch-ups. And not a big deal. But you can see the type of masking that I had to do to get this on there. Both sides, right? Now, of course, like I said, I got a bunch of touch-ups to do. I may try to respray the white, because this one here, we had a blowout. I tried to sand it out a bit, but there's a lot of red on this fender. So I may have to mask and respray the white. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, blue inside. And I've got the truck masked as well, ready for the red. Now, of course, I got to still cover the top and probably cover the inside so I don't get any blow by and get red inside here. But that's easy enough. So something I've gotten to help me with this is, of course, I went out and got all kinds of the different sizes of tape instead of trying to cut my own. So I got 3, I got 6, I got 1, I got 10, 18, 40. I've got a whole bunch of different sizes. Also, I went and picked up this masking fluid from Mr. Hobby, right, to help seal the joints, to hopefully prevent more blow by and blow through, and to help me with some of the curves and stuff like that, like up on here, you know, to try and fill in these curves and different things. So hopefully that'll work. Now I still got to touch up a little bit of blue, but that's okay. Once I got the red on, then I can go back and I can paint things like the door handles and, you know, the window frames in here and a couple other little things that need to be painted. Probably give it 1 coat of clear to seal it all. And then I can start all the decals. Once the decals are done, mainly the masking is done, I can finish this truck. I mean, it's almost done. The chassis is done, the engine's done, like it's all done, the interior's done. So I just gotta get this paint job done. Once the paint job's done, the rest of the truck's gonna be easy, right? And I gotta touch up my blue because I wet sanded a little too far, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go continue doing this, and I'm gonna get it painted, and then I'm gonna come back. I'll show you what it is, and while you're waiting, or at the end of this video, go check out that link up here, and you can see all the problems I've been having. I started out using Createx, never again. Sorry guys. I'm just one of these that can't seem to get it to work. I know a bunch of other modelers can get it to work just fine. For some reason, it will not stick. I had sprayed all of this before. This is done with Tamiya lacquer paint here, but I had sprayed this color with Createx, and when I unmasked it, it pulled 3/4 of the paint off. Same thing on the outside. I did the white with the Createx, and yes, it's all primered. I discussed it with them. They suggested a bunch of things. I discussed it with other modelers that use that paint, tried their ways. Nothing worked. It would not stick. Maybe it's just a plastic on this one. I don't know. But yeah, I ended up having to strip it again and repaint the white. And and again, I used a automotive white paint for this one. The dark blue is the Tamiya Pure Blue. So everything seems to be working so far. So fingers crossed, no more problems. But with that being said, hey, if it's your first time here and you like what's going on, please hit that subscribe button. Everybody, make sure that bell notification is turned on to all notifications so you don't miss out on anything. Give me a follow on my Instagram and my Facebook group. If you want to help out the channel, I have a PayPal me link down there as well. And you can find the Facebook and Instagram links down there. And you can also check out my merch store at the Spring Store and pick up some merch if you want. Leave any of your comments and thoughts down below. I love reading them. I try to get back to each and every one of them. Don't forget to like and share the video. So with that, I'm going to get back to work. I'll see you in a second. Okay, everybody, I'm back. And, I think this truck is pretty much getting turned into a good enough truck. Okay, let me explain. I've fought with this thing so much that, with the paint problems and everything else, masking problems, all kinds of crap. And it goes to without saying too much that still having problems. And but I got the red painted. It's not clear coated yet, so it's dull, but I got it painted. And when I was peeling the masking off, I even scuffed it, sanded it, as you saw. Peeling it off, I had to be so careful because I was peeling off the red. It was coming off that clear coat that I had put on to try and help seal things down. And it was peeling off. As you can see, there's little spots here and there, that I'm going to, come on, focus in. You can see it was peeling up the red. Now I've already gone over this a little bit with a paintbrush. You can see little spots all over. And there was a couple spots that pulled out some big chunks. But I've already touched it up with brush a little bit. I'm going to go back and touch up some more of the red and some more of the blue. But yeah, I mean, I've pretty much given up on this paint job. You know, there's a couple big spots right there. Pulled off the blue and the red. Right? And a few more spots. So I'm going to try and touch this stuff up. And the spots that were masked on the white have also peeled off as well. Okay, so from here, I tried to touch up some of the white. That's a pain in the butt because the white I used for this, I'm not quite sure. So trying to match that up. Well, I'm doing my best. I'm going to touch up the blue and I'm going to touch up the red. The peeled clear coat, I don't know what to do. You know, like, it's hard to see on camera. You can see the bit of a line right there. That's the clear coat that's missing.
Yeah.
You see it all over. There's a little bit right there. There's lots of spots, you know, back here. You can see it peeled up all from here. Stopped right about there. You know, it's just spots all over. And that's why I'm calling it pretty much good enough. You know, cab is the same thing. Tried to touch up a few things. Peeling clear coat off. You can see like the difference back here. Like nothing is sticking to whatever this white was. Really, the only white I've got is either the Tamiya flat white, which I wouldn't have used to spray this because there's just way too much of it. And I've got a Createx white sealer, knowing that I was going to put clear coat on it. It wouldn't have mattered very much that if the sealer was flat or if it was just a sealer or whatever, because it would have gotten clear coated. So I'm thinking that's what it is. You know, is that Createx clear coat and Createx sealer. And nothing is sticking to it. I'm just going to call it good enough. I've started cutting out the decals for this thing. Now I'm going to, tape these together so they sit where they need to sit. Because to be able to do this one, they have to be in its place. Come on. Anyways, this thing's not freaking cooperating here. Anyways, this one has to be sitting in place because it's the door and the hood all in one piece. Stupidity, but whatever. Like I said, I'm pretty much fed up with this truck. I just want to get it done and be done with it. This one back here. This one here goes on there. This one, come on. This one goes up here somewhere. We got to figure that out completely. This one's up here on the back. And then this one, I'm not sure which way because it doesn't indicate. So I have to try and find pictures. Because this has got a red line on it. See that? But it's got a red line on one side, real thin. So I don't know if it goes that way or if it goes that way. I don't know. So I got to find pictures. So I get those done. I'll get the ones on the hood, the roof, and the rest of the back here. And then I'll move to the other side, get those stripes done. Then I can start doing all the small stuff that's on the body. Any of the little things that's on the body here, right? Then I can move to, thank God there's no goddamn red, but I can move to the wings. There's the 3 front wings. So I got to paint the dark blue on that. Shouldn't be a problem. And then the big rear wing. And again, that shouldn't be a problem. We got to put the dark blue on it. Not a big deal. Now, if this is any indicator where that red line has to go, because here's the roof ones, the hood ones, right? And the red line, you can see is like on the inside. So that's probably the way that this one needs to go. It's on the inside to match everything else. All right? Yeah, so that helps. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just going to keep moving along here. I'll show you where I'm at once I get a bunch of the decals done. And I'm just going to worry about the truck for now. I'll do the wings later. One pile of junk at a time is the way to go. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, everybody. Well, all the decals are done and the clear coat is done. Now I've done a little bit more on this engine here. I've got exhaust, part of the exhaust on. The other side's glued in a bit. I got to modify this turbo side of the turbo because the way it's shaped doesn't work. Transmission engine mount brace is in and glued, and that's ready to go. So I'm going to carefully, because clear coat is still a little tacky yet, but I'll show you some of it, and in the next video I'll show you everything in it when it's all dry. We'll start getting the rest of that done and start mounting the body. So give me a second. I'm going to grab a few parts anyways. So here you go. All the stripes are on. All the decals are on. Everything's nice and shiny. Now it's dry enough that dust does fall on it. It's not going to stick to it, but you can't really handle it because you press too hard and it will leave a fingerprint. But everything is done. All the painting, and my color match is almost perfect between the decal and the stuff I painted. So all the decals are on. Some of them don't line up perfectly. They weren't printed perfectly either. I had to modify some of it, which you'll notice, like some of the light blue. They have a white pinstripe beside it, but some of them, it's a wider white stripe than on the other side. This one's not too bad. This one here, yeah, you can see it on this one. See the pinstripe on one side compared to the other? Now, there's nothing I can do about that. I tried to adjust things. Even this one here, you can see that this blue stripe has a pinstripe. But this one pretty much doesn't have anything. So I tried to adjust things where you'd still have it. Now, something else I kind of screwed up on is this stripe here, this blue one that runs along. Because I didn't do them together, all right, here's the cab. Now, if you put these together where they're supposed to be, they do not actually line up. Let's see if I can get better lighting here. When you line these up, right, you can see how, no, you can't see. When I line these up, you can see how the one on the back piece actually will sit in further than the one on the step of the cab. And what I should have done was trim this one back a bit down here so that I could push the decal in a little bit more so that there was more red showing on the top. But because I didn't do them at the same time, well, I have to live with it. So, but anyways, yeah, that's where everything's at. You know, you're not going to see all of this stuff, but you know, I touched up what I could. I know it's not perfect, but like I said earlier, this is going to be a good enough truck. You know, it's one of those that, you know, fed up enough and enough is done that I'm just calling it good enough. So if you like what this is, where this is going, how it's turned out, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed. It means a lot to me. Give me a follow on my Instagram and my Facebook group. Links for them are down in the description. Make sure you hit that bell button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on anything. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. If you want to help out the channel in any way, you can check out my PayPal Me link, or you can check out my merch store and check out any t-shirts and cups and stuff like that. So with all that being said, and with all that being done, this has been a pain in the ass, but no matter what you're building, make sure you build it your way. Until next time, later.